Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Smart Poker's YouTube channel and another episode of Sundazed and Confused, number 60, I think, if I got the number right. Pour some tea for two, roll a buckhorn for one, whatever your thing is, and hang out. We'll get the link up there. And I need to smoke a doob. I'm running late. I just barely got time to set everything up here. See if I can get the link. Crispy's here now.
Hi, everybody. I'm a little off my square. My mom just told me she has COVID. She's been sick for a while. I've been taking her medicine, dropping it off at the door, and now she's telling me she's in the hospital. So,
and we're just finding out
today,
a minute ago,
literally 1 minute ago, she just sent me a text.
So cheers to the chat. Flower Felon, Uncle Dunk, Seed Person, All Drive. There's the Art Man.
A little off.
Let's see here. We got somebody else. Yes, all right. They're all
Seed Person's coming. Art Man. It's nice to have you guys here. I'm a little stunned, I guess. I don't know.
What's going on?
Stunned?
I just
What's
jumped
going
in
on?
here.
We missed it.
Just found out my mom is in the hospital. She has COVID, and she's
Oh
elderly
shit!
a little bit about it. I'm not gonna let that spin me out of control. Everything's gonna be fine.
Yeah, she'll be all right.
She'll be all right.
This is the second time she's had it. My dad had it twice. I don't know what it is, man.
My nephew had it twice. Yeah.
The
Yep.
second time wasn't as bad, but boy, the first time was vicious.
I
think
had it once. Yeah,
Yeah,
it was not a fun experience.
no, and I think the variances are I'm not gonna worry too much. Like, it's not like when COVID first hit, man, I was really scared about the whole country shutting down. That had me a little wigged out, but now it's not like that.
It was more serious then too, I think.
Yeah.
It's just a big shitstorm, man, that COVID stuff. It's an enemy you can't see, taste, touch, smell. You know what I mean? It's something scary stuff. I'm going to roll up some Mac here.
And I'm going to have a great time today. I'm not going to worry. All of our friends here, Hiver Monster, Grows, Weed Nerd, Kate Armstrong, Yankees, Ganja Ghost, Twisted. All of
Well, after that, I'm gonna light up my hash right now.
Hell yeah.
Before anything.
You guys
ever
got to
happens.
smoke some for me
Well,
because I can't smoke right now. I'm
Oh,
over at I'm at my parents' house right now, charging up all their shit because we lost power on Friday and it hasn't come back yet.
That's wild.
And all my plants have been in the dark and 40 degrees for almost 2 days, coming up on 2 days now.
Was it that wind? What's getting ripped? Was it that wind, man?
Yeah, the wind was nuts.
Dude,
It knocked down a shitload of power lines and stuff.
Yeah, I was driving home from work, man. I got like 5 miles from home, and a cop sitting there. He was like, "You got to turn around." I had to turn around. I had like 30 minutes to my drive time. Go all the way around because of another tree down. Yeah, it was bad, man.
And yesterday we couldn't even go to the job because the power was out.
Yep. I quit work yesterday because the power was out. Son of a bitch. They got it on yesterday at like noon, I guess.
But that's scary. Like, your plants being in the dark, man. That's
I'm like 90% sure I'm gonna have to chop the big one down
You
because
think?
it's like 2 weeks into flower. Yeah, no light and cold temperatures. I'm expecting to see a shitload of nanners when I get back in that tent.
This brings up a point from way back. We were talking one day in chat, I think, over at Cocoa for Cannabis, and we were all like, well, they were talking about generators and having a generator, but what can you do if you can't afford a generator? You don't have one and your power does go out.
You're beat.
You're beat. Now, am I to understand that now I don't want to misquote Dr. MJ Coco, but something's telling me that he said that if you can get any light into your plant to photosynthesize, even if it's a flashlight, it's something.
You guys say we're beat. I'm not beat. I have Ryobi batteries with attachments that go on top of them with plugs in them. I have a car
Yeah.
battery in my basement. I have an automotive light. I have enough power to run my pumps for at least a day.
Well,
But
there
the
you go.
light, I can't run my LEDs, but I can run small LED lights to keep the cycle going.
Right.
And that's all you need. But-
That's where I think I was going with that. Like something like the way the picture works in my head is, they're getting some of that photosynthesis during their lights on. It doesn't have to be the full spectrum that they were getting. If they're getting some photosynthesis, it's helpful. Even if, because I was
Exactly.
thinking a
Yeah.
flashlight, what can that do? But
It'll keep your cycle going though, the light
Yeah.
cycle.
Yeah.
I don't know about a flashlight, but
Something.
yes.
See, I always thought
absolutely.
that was for plants that were in veg that were you wanted to keep from flowering.
well,
That
this
you would kick a
conversation,
light in there and just keep them in veg with just a little minimal light.
It works for that too. Like you mean like in a big outdoor greenhouse so that they don't go into flower if the days are too short. They'll just add supplemental lighting and they only need a couple of micromoles, of densities at any given point. So that's why they have a lot of mouths. You're right, that is that, but I think it works for this too. I think the more important thing is that what do they say? Defend the darkness. So if you're going to have two evils, one where it gets no light during lights on or getting lights during lights off, obviously the first one's the better scenario. So I wouldn't be too upset yet, but you're right. That
Well,
sucks.
the other thing is the temperature.
I would say the temperatures might be more affecting it than maybe not having lights. I don't know how long that can go. Either way, it sucks, man. I think having a generator is a great idea, but they do require an initial upfront cost and all that stuff, So, but
Yeah.
I mean, if you could afford it, shit, I'd love to have one of them Generacs outside right on the side of the house. You ever see those big son of a bitches? You can run your whole place on them for as long as you need to.
There's
Natural
like 3 or
gas.
4 houses on my block that have those big generators. They got all their outside lights on and shit, and the rest of the houses are all dark. It's like, you fuckers.
Yeah.
Oh shit.
But it's an excuse to pop some more beans. So
Yeah, it is.
it is what it is.
I want to say hi to the American one in chat. 420 trees, keep it real. Vermonster, JKW Digger, Vermonster grows. Everybody make sure you check out it. There's Chiba Man, Rocinante. Check out Vermonster's channel. He's been doing some good shows and trying to get into some. There's G-Bay Genetics, Boss's Farms.
little E-Bud.
What
Yeah.
else?
I'll give each other a follow. If you might find someone in there in chat that you're not following, that has really cool videos, just give them a follow.
There's something I wanted to get into. Well, it's something that I don't understand. I'm gonna have to get more explanation, I think, from somebody else. So how do I want to put this? This is all conjecture, but I'm hoping we can talk about it. So sometimes people will put, say, neem oil on their buds or on their plants early, right? Not during flower or whatever, maybe just in the very early stage of flower. You can end up tasting that shit in your buds, like it's fucked up. It makes your shit taste weird. So my mind starts working and I'm thinking, all right, well, people that grow in soil say their buds taste better. That's their big claim, is that they much better taste because it has all that natural shit. Then I started thinking about like products like Terpinator and Perpinator, and I call them snake oil. But I'm thinking these people sell snake oil, and then I've had people that are authoritative figures in the community say those products are bullshit. So then I started thinking, well, something's got to be given. Something's fucked up here, because they grow grapes, which is a different product, I understand, but they grow grapes in different areas so that they take on certain flavors and colors and different things. I believe they call it terroir or whatever. So they grow these grapes in different places. So there's got to be some mechanism in the plant where when shit gets to the roots, it can take it in and kind of make it taste like that, I think, but I don't understand it. And I don't know why. How come when we put neem oil on, a lot of people, including myself, swear they can taste it. But if you put something like Perpinator on or Terpinator, not that I want to use those products, don't get me wrong, I would never spend my money on something like that. But I just don't know how one can happen and the other one, when you're putting it on, it seems like bullshit. Does that make sense to you guys?
Yeah.
A little bit at
I think
all?
it's two different, you got two different methods of application though, right? The neem oil would be like sprayed on the plant, on the outside of the plant versus the
Yes.
nutrients that get uptaken through the roots, right? So that's
Well, a lot of people
systemic.
No,
do
that's
neem oil.
it's both. Yeah,
Yeah, a
it's
lot of
both.
people
Is
do
it?
neem oil drenches just for the gnats and shit,
Yeah.
man. I've put neem oil on my plants before. That's why I don't use it anymore. It's fucking nasty, man. I swear you can smell it when you're
I opened the bottle and I swear I can taste it. It's the nastiest stuff I've ever had.
it is.
I've used
man.
it once. I used it once a couple years ago. I just it's horrible. But maybe it does the job. I don't know.
One of the things I'm wondering is it's like how do I want to say that? What capabilities does the plant have as far as picking something up from the soil, the substrate, the DWC water, whatever it's in, and planting it into the plant where we can taste it? You know, is that, I don't know. That's just something I've always
Well,
wondered. Doc was
you
explaining,
know,
he explained like osmosis and some of how the nutrients pass through the membranes into the thing and stuff. And I'm thinking, well, can any of that be taste or something, if that makes sense? But yeah, go ahead.
one of the things that it's like, I'm not an expert in this by any means, so I'm just speaking on my own personal, like what I'm thinking about right now. But it's, what is the plant taking up, right? It's taking up nitrogen, phosphorus, potassium, calcium, all those molecules, right? The building blocks. And then inside the plant, it's recreating these different, more complex molecules using those building blocks, right?
Right.
So
I think I
depending
get,
on like how the plant is growing, it's going to put them together in different ways based on first what it has available, what's in the nutrient solution or the soil or whatever it can get, you know, and it's going to work with what it's got. And then the other thing would be like how it's being treated. If it's in a really hot condition, it's going to do one thing. If it's in another environment, it's going to do another, and grow slightly differently using those same basic building blocks. Now I could be totally off base on this because I'm not an expert, like
no,
I
that
said,
makes perfect logical sense, seed person. And I totally get what you're saying. I think our friend Keep It Real kind of quoted exactly how I feel about it. And then in the chat there, this is how, and this is I'm not no scientist. This is just based on my beliefs from being a grower. It says, I'm pretty sure the taste is pre-genetically coded into a plant. What medium it's grown in plays a tiny role in taste. One man's opinion. Well, that one man's opinion is almost exactly my opinion. I feel like most of your taste and terps and shit are already in that seed. If you can get it up. And the other thing we came across when we were talking about precision stress the other day was, and me and my friend, the American one, we all sat here and had this conversation a couple months ago. And I distinctly remember saying, we were talking about precision stress. And I said, I think the best way you could possibly get a plant to express all of its glorious nature that, you know, it has inside of it is to grow it under the most perfect conditions that you can. You know, keep it under the right light, keep the pH as perfect as you can, you know, do all your environmental parameters perfect. And then that plant should be able to develop totally unencumbered and give you a great sense of what it's made of, what its genetics are. I think sometimes adding in precision stress and shit, I feel sometimes like it might almost take away from a plant. You know, it never got the real chance to shine because it had a week where it was just struggling, man, or whatever. Maybe I'm wrong, but that's how
think
I've
about it
always,
like
you know,
building a house. If you're building a house, you have a set of blueprints. That's your genetic code, right? And let's say the blueprints call for, you need 24 16-foot 2x4s, right? But because of an environmental issue for the plant, and now it's transferred back to the building site, you only got like, you know, 36 8-foot pieces of 2x4. You can still build the blueprint, you just got to do it a little bit differently.
yep, you got to do it maybe a little bit weaker. But does that make your
Right.
front porch better? Does that make your
No, it
your
just makes it
basement
different.
better? You know what I mean? It just makes it different, I guess. And then I guess you know, these are all conjectures, man. This is just things that come up in my head and I start thinking about them and I'm thinking you know, I just, that's what it is. The wheels start turning and I start thinking, does anybody else have this same kind of thing? Yeah, I think Hydroplanes Drifter was mentioning kind of what you was, seed person. It says genetic code might be there, but if the building blocks for certain terps are absent, genes can't overcome that. And that kind of goes back to what the same thing. Like you have to have all your stuff there. What's that? The 18 different elements or whatever it is, 17, and then the plant can go nuts. But yeah, it's just something I thought of, and I always wondered like here's the other thing. I found out that when the stomata is open, the plant has to indiscriminately take in whatever gas is in the air. It's not like it can push out some stuff and take in, So I always wondered if you had like a real stinky ass natural gas leak around your plants for a while, would they take that on? Is that something that, it's just a curious question. I don't really give a shit, to be honest.
Yeah,
with
but
it
yeah.
makes you wonder. Like I start picturing little holes under my leaves and air wafting in and out of them and shit. And it just drives these crazy mental notes that I wonder what other people are thinking about this shit.
Well, plants in California after the wildfires, they declare them unsmokable. So there is stuff in the air that definitely affects them. Maybe that's just falling on a particulate matter, but
yeah, that could very well be particulate matter too. That's wild. Hey, we learned about them.
This is just a quick side note. That's why you don't want to run your dehumidifier water through your plants, because it's taking out contaminants out of the air, concentrating them into the water that you're about to put on your plants.
Yeah. They call that gray water, and it's nasty shit, man. Carries a lot. Think of every fungus and pathogen, whatever in your house, being condensed down into a cup of water. Not to mention it's running over wire or metal that could be leaching metal out of them. There's things that water runs down over. They're like fins and shit, I guess, or whatever. And I think they can carry metal.
Good point. I never thought of that. I know people who do that too, who recycle it.
We way back in the day, like really early on, I was dumping what appeared to be like crystal clean water down the toilet, and I'm thinking, why am I dumping this? And then just turning around and filling it up with clean water to take in there. Why don't I just use this? And we didn't have very good results, but there could have been other problems going on, and
it's not something I'll ever use again.
It just turned into a disaster, and we never did that again. But the people that you say are doing it and they're doing okay, they should watch out for those things to happen.
Yeah, if you get one of them cheap ones from China and shit, I heard that they can use less than savory metals. I don't know how that shit all goes down, but I think you can get like, if you test that water, man, you could have like metal shit in there. I don't know. My plants didn't like it. They reacted poorly. That's why I didn't use it. Honestly, we started mixing it in, and they just started turning yellow leaves. I couldn't figure it out. I think the pH is on. Then I started thinking there must be some kind of a weird chemistry thing happening in that water that I don't know about. And my plants didn't like it at all.
Hey, can you spotlight Scrubs? He's doing something with some seeds.
Oh shit, what's going on the screen? Oh, you know what? I'm on the wrong screen.
Yeah, you're on the wrong screen. Scrubs, sorry about that. What?
I didn't know
you're good.
he was here, man. What the fuck's going on?
Oh, you're good, buddy.
Hey, what's happening, Scrubs?
No, that's
There he
unacceptable, Scrubs.
Popping some outdoors.
Sorry.
Yeah, I slept on
Hey,
that.
Scrubs.
Cool.
My
Oh,
apologies.
you're good, buddy. I'm just here messing around.
You
That
came,
is
Popping
really
them out.
cool that you're showing
My
us.
outdoor beans.
you came to share with us, and I'm fucking sleeping over here. That looks good. You got some Dynamico, I see there.
Yeah, I've been soaking my root rot pellets with a little bit of that, and it seems to really be helping.
4-day clones, I would think so. Yeah.
Yeah, those other ones, they finally took off. I think I messed up because I added some recharge or something to it, and it didn't do as well.
So how many are you doing?
I actually have 6 Amy's I'm gonna do outside, and then I've got 2 sets of testers from Spartan. I got some of his Project V and some Snow Devil I'm gonna grow as testers for him.
That's what I'm gonna do. Snow Devil. I got some of that.
Yeah.
That sounds awesome.
Is that the
Yeah, he always-
Mendocino shit that he had?
Which one
The
was that?
Snow
See,
Cane crossed with Vortex.
Yeah,
Snow
okay.
Cane. Okay, Snow Cane was from 2020. I think that's the Spartan cut, isn't it?
Yes, you're correct.
he don't like to take credit for it. He said, it's not mine. I just happened to make the cut. He goes, but the name's sticking, man. The name sounds like you got to take credit for your work, man. At least he's a righteous enough dude to say, look, it ain't really mine. I just kept it for years and years, you know.
He's a humble dude.
Oh yeah. There's our man, Chiba Man. How you living, man?
Cheers, cheers.
Give us a minute, Chiba. We'll be right over here.
Hey, Smut. Hey, Smut. Before you go on, I just want to tell you, I have a video. I downloaded the video on YouTube if you want to look at it after these guys are done.
You definitely do.
Oh, I'm good. I was just checking in.
Yeah.
You're gonna have a lot of Amy aces, dude. My God, you're gonna outside. I haven't seen one outside. They got to be huge.
I think Tal said only maybe one guy somewhere grew one outdoors. I was like, well, I like growing outdoors. So.
Yeah, I can't wait.
Can't wait.
Outdoors, man. Holy shit!
Keep them away from out of line of the street, right? You got to keep them out of sight or something.
Yeah,
over where you're at.
Man, dude, you look up Virginia's legislature; it's so vague. But yeah, they can't be visible from public without the use of optics or a helicopter.
I've never heard that one. That's
yeah, dude. They got what did it say? Without aircraft or optics. It's supposed to have a fence around it, but you're supposed to have a tag with your driver's license number and for personal use.
Here, man.
We got similar rules, but not the driver's license thing. I never heard of that.
But hey, I think I told Smart. I mean, they are pretty cool. Maybe I just got onto a lucky cop, but I did. I got pulled over the other day, and one of the first things he mentioned was the smell of marijuana and if it was personal use. And I was like, well, yeah, it's personal use. But he let me go, and I looked it up, and Virginia states that in your vehicle and something else, maybe it might have been your household, just the smell of it does not give them reason.
Well, that's great.
Because you can smell it without smoking, and it's legal to grow.
Yeah, because you might have.
Well, what was he expecting you to say? No, officer, I got 15 pounds in the trunk. I'm going to Texas with it.
Mean,
I'm the man.
I've dealt with several in traffic stops. I will say, if you're just chill with them, they got a job to do, and like he was just looking for me to give him a stupid answer and a reason. But I was like,
if you were drunk or something, yeah.
Yeah, he's like, is it personal use? I said, yes, sir. He said, when's the last time you smoked? I said, last night at the hotel. I said, I work out of town and you can't smoke in the hotel. And it was cold last night. He was like, okay. And he let me go.
Cool.
There you go. Honest answer and honest. You didn't break any laws. You were good to go anyhow.
No, other than the dead inspection that's fixed now. But
well, yeah,
but he did tell me that it's a small town cop, and he was like, he did say, if you don't get this fixed and you keep driving around, the next officer's not going to be so nice. I was like, all right, good deal. I'll get it fixed.
Yeah, we have inspection here too, man.
It's stupid.
Some states don't have inspections. What are you mixing up, Chiba, man?
Oh, did you guys see my YouTube post?
I did not.
I had an accident. Hold on, let me grab it.
Uh-oh.
I was putting one of those, a piece of wood up on the ceiling for my light. And when I did that, it fell and smashed my
Your new light.
One of my plants. Oh man, smashed my plant. It was the what was it? The glue sniffer.
Oh man.
Then it gave it a Gumby haircut. So then it was just mashed down. I was like, okay, I can fix that. So then I used one of these things, see, to prop up and hold the thing up, right?
Okay.
So it was up, and it was up there holding it up. And when I screwed the board up, it fell down. And then it guillotined and chopped the cola right off of the freaking
So you got yourself a
Oh.
clone, whether you wanted it, a cutting, whether you wanted it or
Yeah,
not.
that's what I'm doing right now, cloning them up.
How many are you going to take off of that?
Oh man, Terry, I mean, yeah, I post now on YouTube now. I got 2 of them up there, 3 of them, I think. So that's what I'm doing now, getting this video ready and set up now.
That sucks, bro. So now,
It's what it is, you know.
so did you not screw into a stud? I think you missed a stud.
What? I didn't have it. I couldn't find studs. What it is, these old houses have the tongue and groove roof,
Yeah.
and have drywall on top of it. So finding the stud was kind of hard. I
You
found
know,
16 on center, but then when I went to the next 16 spot, it wasn't there. So I went, okay, maybe 24, 32, one was there, one wasn't there. I couldn't get 4 screws, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I did what you suggested, was I just put a flat piece of plywood, 3 foot by 4 foot,
Across
right,
two,
expanded
across two known 2x4s.
It's perfect. I can't go up now because lights are off. Lights are off 7-7 now. I may change it to 6. But that's what I did. Fan that up there and hung my lights right up, and everything looks fantastic now. And well, you can see it if you go on my YouTube page. You can see it.
All right.
Sorry to hear that, man. That's
That's
terrible.
okay, man. But help
What?
up. I'm gonna get 5.
It is what it is.
I get 5 clones out of this, and I'm gonna take 2 little baby clones out of that. What is that? The banana kush. I wasn't gonna do clones, but what the hell? I gotta do something. I was pissed up. Oh, and then to make matters worse, I spilled a whole tall glass of Lynchburg lemonade all over the top of my laptop the same night.
Oh,
Man.
So I
man.
took it apart, cleaned it up, you know, because I'm a computer tech by trade. So I
Okay.
cleaned it all up and everything, but that little bit of liquid killed the battery.
Oh,
So I had to order a new battery today. Hence the reason I'm on the phone doing my YouTube.
shit, man. That sucks. You've been having a hell of a bad day then, huh? At least you didn't break your light.
Yeah, this is
Yeah, no, didn't break the light. Ain't gonna break the light. When the board fell, I fell with it, and I
oh
tossed
my
it.
goodness.
It was crazy.
So you're not hurt?
Oh no, I am not hurt.
Oh, thank goodness.
It's just a touch.
No. Hey, when it rains, it pours because his poor plants are sitting in conditions that, you know, are uncomfortable. They're in dark, they're cold.
Yeah.
It's just damn.
Terrible.
Hey,
We're gonna turn this ship around, man. Let's turn this day around.
No doubt.
And good vibes, those healing vibes for our plants, for everyone listening. Bring our good vibes here because
Hey, Chiba.
I heard that. I agree.
Smiley's Gardens in the chat. Cheers, Smiley's. He said there's better ways to make rosin squish than dropping shit on your plants, man.
And when the whiteboard fell, it left a nice green mark. You know how it hit the thing?
oh,
I was gonna paint it, but I said, no, I'm just gonna leave it there. Let the little green stain stay.
That's a reminder. Yep.
Yeah. So that is the plan. Just gonna turn that into clones. First, this thing's been sitting in here since Friday, 10 o'clock p.m. Sitting in this water. I put a little Clonex in here the next morning, but that's it. Under a light. Was praying this morning.
Nice. So this happened Friday.
This happened Friday night, yeah.
The silver lining is you get some clones of your glue sniffer.
Oh yeah. I've already did a comb over. Boom, pulls 2 branches over, and it's already taken root already.
He said a comb over.
and when all's said and done, you'll get a bigger harvest.
The way I quoted it on my YouTube page, I said, I got a hole in my afro. When you look at it, it's just like a hole right there. So did a little comb over here. So for this, I throw a little Clonex solution, some what is that? Some mycorrhizae. I don't have any Clonex gel. I thought I did, but I don't. No apple either. So I think I'm gonna go a little heavy on the Clonex solution.
Yeah, I've heard that Clonex solution. Our friend Rowdy uses that. he uses the gel first, then he uses the solution for like a feed or something, I think, for the first little bit. I'm not sure how he uses it, but yeah, that we use that powder shit. Isobutyryl acid number 3 or some shit it's called.
Uh-huh.
We use that. What was I had something. I wanted to remind everybody about our friend Doc MJ's Ask Dr. Coco show. I got a link here I'm going to post in the chat and maybe put it in the description. I don't know if it'll get us. We got like 2 weeks from today, we get our band taken down, our check mark. What is it called again?
Yeah, I don't know.
We got
strike
banned.
or whatever.
Our strike goes away in 2 weeks, man.
Right.
Yeah, we got one strike. The word cannabis and a link 2 times in 1 week. They said they made us not have a show for 2 days. For 1 week,
they gave us some in-school suspension, and then we got a couple detentions after that.
If it happens again,
And we'll have to see the principal, and we don't want to go to that office.
that shit happens again. I think they busted.
I've been there. You don't want to be in the principal's office. Not fun.
But it felt like that. I'm like, oh my goodness.
Let me see if I can get the link here for everybody. But yeah, it's an Ask Dr. Coco show. You can submit your questions early. So that's kind of what I have here. And then you read them out loud and answer them and talk about them.
Yeah, it's a pretty cool setup.
It
like you can read the other people's questions and vote on them. So like if there's a question, you're like, oh man, I really want to hear the answer to that. Hope there's time. Well, you can vote on it, and if enough people vote on it, it gets put to the top of the line, from what I understood.
Yeah.
So from that first meeting.
Yeah.
How about you guys as seed person or art man? You kind of get that feel. It was those questions were getting voted up to the top of the list.
My question was voted to the top, so I feel pretty good about it.
Yeah, exactly. That's fun. That's a lot of fun. Doc makes learning fun, and this just the way this whole thing is going down from that first experience, and now this will be the first show. This is going to be so much fun. He makes learning fun.
Hey, they're asking about the My Herbs Now dryer. Seed person got one.
Yes, he does.
And he likes it.
He's about it.
Oh yeah. Who was that asking in the chat there? Captain Blackheart. What is the name of the other cure, like the Canatrol that runs about $200?
Yeah.
Seed person got one.
Yes, sir.
Eagle got one. Jack got one. There's a lot.
And we hear good things about them. The price is certainly nice. It doesn't hurt the wallet as bad.
$199, I think it was. You could probably get a code from somebody.
And Seed Person was showing us the product coming out of that, and it just looked fire, perfect.
Yep.
And that's like recently, like just to see them going in that machine, from week to week, him showing us what they were looking like coming out. I'm very impressed.
96 hours.
Yeah, 4 days. And they
Yeah.
come out and it tastes like it's been in the jar for a couple weeks too.
So there you go. You can feel safe and secure in purchasing that product with all of the people backing it. The people that are backing it.
I never had one, but I definitely would.
I would definitely try it with confidence. Back
Hey,
when
Smart. Excuse me.
Yeah, man.
Got something for you, Smart.
Oh,
Here he is.
shit.
Whoops.
Hold on.
Hang on. I'm not going to put my art on here unless it's weed related, but this one is weed related. So.
Oh, that's
hell yeah.
And there he is.
I've been seeing that on Instagram. That is awesome. You did such a great job. That is so cool.
dude got
He's still smoking my hash, man. I'm telling you.
He looks like he's about to feel good, huh? That's
Oh yeah. And then the old lady was on the phone working. I told him, you can't cough. He said, what?
Hold it in.
It was
Don't
great.
cough.
It was funny. And he
Oh,
didn't
that's-
cough though. He didn't. So
There he is.
anyway, there you go. That's what I wanted to show you.
Hey, I made you the co-host in case you want to share your screen. I'm rolling a joint here. Did you want to show us? I'm curious to see the video you have for us.
Oh, I've never done that, dude. I'm not sure.
All right, let me see if I can finish this up. We'll go check it out. You posted it as a live video for everybody on YouTube?
Yep. Yeah.
Right on.
It's the one that says camera sideways.
Oh,
I
everybody.
filmed it once and it was up and down, you know. I always forget that.
Let's see if we can't go troll your page a little bit.
Okay, let's see what we got.
I'm gonna click a button here.
It's only a couple minutes, so but it'll show you how the Velvet Punch is doing anyway. It's got about 12 days, I think, maybe 2 weeks.
Now, you harvested, right? Once or no?
I harvested the Harlequin, the shorter one that was supposed to be a sativa.
Yes.
And I've got that one dry now. That's on day 4 of dry. So I haven't gotten a chance to even taste it or nothing. So
I got so many. I'm following like I'm subscribing like 500 people. Oh, there you are.
Put them in alphabetical order. That way you can get through them quickly.
All right, let's go to
plus
videos.
Art Man is on top. So
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Is it one you posted? There's a couple here. Flower room, camera sideways. Is that it?
that's the one. That's
All
the
right,
one right there.
click on it.
We're gonna have to get together sometime when you got a little spare time and teach me how to transfer the videos and you know all that kind of stuff.
It'll be blind.
If you
leading the
can.
blind, but we'll be happy to help and share what we know.
I got to get
I
back.
bet there's a lot of YouTube videos on that actually.
All right, I got the share screen ready. Are you ready? Let's see here.
Go for it.
Can you see that?
There it is. And she is purple.
Oh, yeah.
Nice. That is nice. I love that color. I love
They're
when
all a
those-
bunch of, they're like golf ball sized buds. Nothing huge, but they're really solid too. God, they're really solid.
Oh, yeah. They look great. They are close to finishing, look like, too.
Yeah, I got to shoot the trikes probably tomorrow just to make sure. But it's still it's like 8 weeks on Friday. So and they say 8 to 9 weeks. So
Okay.
This is beautiful, man. I pulled mine at 61 days. So that's what, right at 8 weeks or something.
Yeah.
mine's 11 days to 60, I think. Yeah. That's what I'm going off of is your calendar seed person. So thank you.
Well, I got that from Jack. So he
That's
said,
nice.
if you want it like a more uplifting 60 days, you can let it go another week if you want it to be more sedating.
Okay.
I'm definitely gonna have to get a hold of him. That one would look really good outdoor.
Oh, I can imagine outdoors. It's a real slow starter, though. I'll tell you, I killed one of the clone of that. So kind of regret it, but I also got other genetics going on. And that is the Flow OG mother I stuck in there. So, and she's looking good. The leaves are real nice.
She looks a lot smaller next to that Velvet Punch. When she was in the other room, she was a towering beast. Yeah, look, she's pretty big.
Yeah, she is. I still got a couple weeks. I'll clean out the bottom, lollipop and clean out all that. But it'll, plus I'll train it more. Once the Velvet Punch is out, I can bend a lot of those branches over to the left where it used to be, and they'll do good. They'll do a lot better. So, but there you have it.
Appreciate it, man.
That's pretty awesome. It's nice to see
like
those
showing you.
completed garden tours.
I thought I closed the wrong freaking window. Sorry. There we go.
We do that sometimes. We hit the wrong button.
I've done it many
Or like things like the screen will go black and we don't know what to do.
I'm getting a bigger, we're going to get a 32-inch screen TV and then plug it into the computer and make the screen the monitor so it's easier to see.
Yeah, these it's hard for me to read chat sometimes. I have to have my glasses and I get tired of wearing them. I cannot put a contact in my eye. I have tried. I feel like I have some type of I don't know.
Eye phobia.
Yeah. and
I
it-
can't do it either, Crispy. You
Me
cannot
neither.
get me to touch my eyes for $1 million. It is
No,
not a thing you're supposed to do to your body.
Yeah. And I've actually got the contacts in my eyes too, like a couple of times. And it was so unpleasant, such an unpleasant experience that I'm like, you know what? I'm just not meant to wear contacts.
Oh, I've had soft contacts, hard contacts, gas permeable contacts. None of them really work with me. So I don't blame you.
And my aunt, she's like, oh, just put it in your eye. I don't know. You're being a big baby. She makes me feel like, what? You know, she's like, oh, you can do it. You know, just stick it in there. And I'm like, I can't do it.
No, that's not cool. I got sand finish in my eye one time at work, which is plaster with sand mixed in it, and got it bad. They had to like hold me down at the hospital and hold my eye open, and they run like 6 bags of that green solution through there. They just held it up.
Saved your eye.
Oh,
Saved
man.
it though, didn't they? Yeah.
Put this dye in my eye, and then the doctor put a black light over there with like a magnifying glass right over my eye. And I had scratches on my retina or whatever. I had to wear this patch for like 2 weeks, man. My eye was all crunchy. It swelled up. It was nasty, man. So eyes, I can't mess with eyes, man. I try to wear glasses doing ceilings now.
You know, this is a gross story and I've told it before and everybody's like, ooh, gross. Well,
Yeah.
I literally did this in the chair at the doctor's office. I like kind of like wanted to like slink onto the floor. It grossed me out so much. I kind of freaked out. I got bit by a spider on my eyeball, like behind my eyelid, like it crawled under my eyelid and bit me
While she was sleeping.
while I was sleeping, because I can't imagine being awake for that. You know, I woke up one morning and I couldn't like look at the ceiling. My eye hurt so bad. And I thought it was an infection. And I went to the eye doctor. And when she told me that, and of course, then I freaked out a little bit. I had a lot of questions and she had to tell me a couple times to calm down.
I couldn't believe it. I was like, I said, if I didn't hear that directly from you, I would never believe it.
Yeah, I was like, are you kidding me? Like, how often does this happen? She said it's like getting struck with lightning. It'll probably never happen to me again, but it does happen.
She got bit on her eyeball by a spider. I was like, are you freaking serious? It creeped me out.
That's bizarre.
They say you swallow 7 spiders in your sleep every year. I would rather swallow 7 tarantulas while awake than have some spider bite me on the eyeball, man. That is messed up. I'm so
Could you
sorry.
imagine waking up with a spider in your eye biting you? Oh,
Fucking hey.
punch yourself.
I need to go take a shower right now.
The psychological fuckery, pardon my language, that went along with that. Like my eye, then it began to hurt worse, I think, because I thought there's spider venom in my eye. It's deteriorating and breaking down she gave me drops. My eye was healed and feeling better within days. But when I was leaving her office, I thought, damn, my eye is really hurting. I need a patch. So I went to patch, but the whole thing went sideways on me. I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna, get one and baby my eye. Oh my God. It still freaks me out to this day. Like there's other people out there on the planet that have had that similar thing happen. And
Are you kidding? It freaks me out.
Yeah.
That's creepy.
We got you on the big screen, man.
These are those two I'm selfing and breeding or crossing.
I remember.
Oh, cool. What do you got now?
This one's that black sugar and that one's silver pearl. I'm selfing it and then I crossed it. Just
That's
as a first time trial.
Lee.
Yeah, you can see where they are.
We never made seeds on purpose, so I always enjoy doing whatever I
It's
did.
pretty cool to see it. Like when people are trying to do that kind of stuff, it's a little confusing to me still.
Oh yeah. Scrubs, we tried to sit down one day and have a conversation about the breeding, and then we got into progenies and alleles and phylls and selves, interbred lines, and they got so confusing, man. And I was thinking, this is going to take more than just one sit down. So
It's gonna have to come in big pieces like nano learning.
yeah,
I showed it to Art, man. That's actually what I'm.
I have that book, man. Mark Connell.
Man, that thing's got the where they at. Yeah, then once they start breaking everything down, that really helps.
You know, it's just
I
sucks.
wish I'd have paid attention in high school more
I want to get that,
I heard
in
that.
biology.
I want to get that on audiobook so I can listen to it at work, man. But so how do I explain
Yeah.
to the homeowner, hey, I'm going to listen to some cannabis breeding over here? You know, I have to wait till nobody's home and where I'm working or it's an empty building. But I think if it was on audiobook, I'd find the time to listen to it. It's just finding the time to sit down and read it. I always fall asleep when I start reading. It's like a weird thing of mine, even if it's an interesting subject, man.
Yeah, that's me too.
And I have enough books in my pile that I think it even get started on his stack.
These plants look good. There's no breeding in here, is there? Can you turn your phone sideways, please?
Oh, yeah, I forgot about that.
Or this
Yeah,
one-
we all do.
No, this is just a bunch of, I think this is a pearl that I'm flowering to smoke. And those are those bag seeds. They actually look pretty decent.
They look great,
Hell
man.
yeah.
That's them too.
I
That
don't
was,
know.
yeah, they're stacking up nice, man. Those are going to be all filled in, clear way down.
And then this is
That's
how,
fun, man. Them bag seeds, you don't know what you got there. When I see that, I'm thinking, you don't know what that is, man. It could be something real super fire. Do you have any clones of those, or you just running one?
I kept a couple clones of it. Like I said, it gets, when you try to keep stuff around, especially that you don't know what it is, it's kind of be a pain.
You'll have to name those yourself and then keep that name on there or you'll forget. You know, I know what you mean because you do a lot of shit. Look how many seeds you popped today. Hey, that one on the back left fucking reaching for the sky, isn't it? Look at
Yeah,
that.
that's that guy got I don't know if it was Gorilla Glue #4, but it came out of what is it, Rocket Seeds catalog. But it had a super great taste and a nice high, and we found a couple seeds in it. Have no idea what pollinated it, but I was like, I'll give it a try. But yeah, it's real stretchy.
Yeah, definitely. That might be a good one for outside sometime, huh? I don't know.
Yeah, that's where it was grown, was outside. So, but yeah, then
I always assume outside plants. If I see a tall plant, I'm thinking, oh, I do great outside, but maybe that's not the case. You know, that's probably just some weird. I don't grow outside, so that's probably just a weird assumption on my.
Because I topped it way down here, and then it just. Then I got some Ital stuff going. This is that Time Wreck Tom's Blueberry.
Oh yeah,
Nice.
the American one's in the chat right now.
Yeah, these things are. I got two. What are these? These are the OG Chem Dog Blueberry.
Look good.
Yeah, you got a lot of variety.
There's the clones off that tall one.
Okay. It
Tall
says
clones
tall.
too.
Hey, you wrote tall plant on the back, didn't you?
The guy's nickname.
That's how. Hey, when you got bagged, oh no, that wasn't the bag seed. I was going to say when you got a bag seed, you have to come up with an ingenious way.
Yeah, well, I did the same thing. I just did it Project Bag Seed.
Project bag seed. Yeah, that's cool.
I like it.
Nice.
Anything you to identify.
Yeah.
You're doing great, man. Jeez.
That's an auto flower I tried. I've never grown auto flowers. But they got some pretty nice.
You've never grown autoflowers?
Never.
Scrubs, are you going to get in on the autoflower challenge over at Cocoa for Cannabis coming up?
Starts in 420.
I might. I'll have to get some more autoflower seeds. I gave the rest of them away.
I think we can get you. I got a good autoflower seed if you want one, man. Scrubs. Definitely
I want
got
to try some
I got some too.
CBD ones.
I'm gonna grow one plant, one autoflower. I might start out with two just to hedge my bets, but I'm gonna finish just one in a tent by itself, a 4x4 tent. I want to see how big I can get it.
Well,
Yeah,
size matters in this one. You can grow the smallest. Maybe you'll win a prize for that. or you can grow the biggest.
Maybe I'll have a.
It's going to be fun. But size matters because we're going to have 2x2 tents, 2x3 tents, 2x4 tents, 3x3,
Yeah.
4x4, 5x5,
And
five,
larger.
yeah, and larger.
5x5, and then I
Yeah.
think there's large
So
rooms.
I just wanted to make that clear too.
And then
We
the
welcome
misfits.
everybody that's grown in tents. I'm curious as to what size spaces everybody grown in chat. If you want to drop it in there, I'm curious.
That's a good question.
Just to see what you would grow your autoflower in.
Oh shit! The American one says in the chat, "Hey, Smart Poker, I put that green crack auto in a 1-gallon container last night." Oh
Nice.
shit!
Ooh, yeah.
New shoes for the autoflowers. I always get them running quick.
We want to grow that strain too.
Yeah, man. I can't wait.
But there's a couple other ones in the mix that like we're having trouble. I'm having trouble. But if we're growing 2, then maybe we can grow 2 different strains because.
Let's show them the mess we got here.
Well,
And what size are you guys growing in, by the way? Yours is what, 4x4?
Yeah.
yes,
Yeah.
4x4.
This
That's
is
about what mine is too. So
these are 6 plants in 1 gallons, and then you got 2 little solo cups just sitting there in the middle. But I'm not sure where they're located. There's a couple apple fritters. There's a couple
Okay, yeah,
mimosas.
we moved. So up front, where you see the 2 girls up front, those are the forbidden fruits. And then the one in the left back corner is a forbidden fruit. Beside it is an apple fritter in the back, and then 2 mimosas in the end back corner, which would be on the right back corner. And in the middle, we have mimosa. She's the tall girl in the party cup, and the little one is a mimosa. They're getting the runoff, and they're doing pretty good still. We're not seeing anything. On the little one, I see some yellow leaves coming. So we got some good advice, and we're gonna go ahead and mix up some water with some CalMag and add it into we're gonna add it into my runoff water when I give them the runoff.
Only one of them's doing real shitty, and that's the one in the front left there. It don't maybe not look like it in the camera there, but that's something that's just sick. It don't. It has a few praying leaves, but the color of it ain't right. It's got purple stems. It doesn't matter what I do, it ain't happy. So the other ones, they seem to be doing all right for such small pots, getting dry back. They're on a low EC. The lights running it. We got the Medic Grow Fold 8. I'm sorry, the Medic Grow Smart 8 running over top of them at 310 watts with the bloom button pushed. And the highest density we're reading anywhere on the canopy is like 680. So we kind of, just because they haven't been so happy, we kind of kept the lights a little low. And you could see it's helping. They're praying, they're growing, but everything is not optimal. It'd be nice to have a bunch of little jars of different flavors though.
Yeah, no shit.
I wish I had enough. I'd love to do this, guys and girls. I wish I had enough ends on my auto fertigation system, enough hoses that I could stack, like 8 plants in there and give, each one 2 square feet and see how, a bunch of different strains. I think that'd be cool. You get maybe 2-3 ounces a plant times 8 plants. And you could keep variety, and but that's a lot of hose running.
all sea of green.
Yeah, I don't want to run a hose.
Mini.
That's a lot of hoses.
Oh, did I tell you I transplanted the rainbow butter seedlings, and I didn't plant the 2 outside ones deep enough, and the rock wool started getting dry, so I ran a drip emitter to the outsides.
Oh,
Now they aren't quite catching up, but the middle one is rocking. So hopefully I got to send some sex tests out this week.
Oh,
awesome.
Cool. Good deal.
That's always so fun. I like doing those sex tests because it's like a little side. I feel like it's a little side project.
Yeah. I saw that our friends over at Farmer Freeman, that guy was nice enough to come on our show, if you recollect. He has the widely available hop latent viroid disease test now. And I know that's on a lot of people's mind, not really in our situation, but they can be transferred through seed and shit. So I have a little bit of trepidation, but hopefully that shit never finds its way into our house or any of our friends' gardens for that matter.
Right.
So
I don't want to even see
No.
that or hear about it in
No.
any of your gardens.
hey, there's our friend Iceni Special Branch. How you doing, buddy?
Nice to see you again.
Hi.
Hi there, chaps, ladies. Yeah, I'm doing all right. Just thought I'd came and give you a little update.
You know, when I saw your name in the chat, the first thing I thought of was it would be great to get an update on that broken branch that he patched up the other day. And I didn't want to put you on the spot. When I saw you light up the thing, I was happy, man. And thanks, Seed Person, for sharing links in the chat there. Everybody,
Yeah,
Yeah, everyone that's sharing the link, we really appreciate it. It's
There's,
pretty awesome.
did
Share
you guys
those
put
links.
did you put the American one in Smiley's Garden link up for Daga Gardens? Here, let me put you on the big screen.
I did. I'm gonna get to some.
Breeders Collective
Hey,
too.
real quick, I put up a link for ATG Acres. He's
Yes.
got a new thing set up on his wild hemp seeds. He's got a bunch of different phenotypes now that he's found. Haze aroma, perps, big bud, pest resistance, general population, and fasciation. And I thought that was really cool. I just noticed that. So I put that
Hey.
in the chat.
I'm glad you brought that up because he just acquired some new genetics and his name's Monty. He had a brand new baby last night or yesterday.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, that's
Cool.
really.
so congratulations to
Slip on that.
Aaron the grower, our
Yes.
good buddy. And I know Scrubs, you're still in the midst of a newborn there. And
Yeah, I'm actually getting ready to have to hop out and put the older one down for a nap.
always a
But
pleasure.
I'll
my
be back
friend.
in chat. I'll be back in chat.
Awesome to see you.
I seen you, bud.
Yeah, man. Actually, I want to, like Smart said, I want to see the update on IC's broken branch
Yeah, I hope we can get a look at that.
because we've all
Well,
done it and had it fail and succeed. I want to see how his did.
it didn't.
Oh,
No, it just wilted over. It didn't want to say.
Oh,
But,
it didn't take. You got rid of it, huh?
Yeah, it looked all too wilted and droopy, and I'm like, no, that's just coming off. So,
Right.
but what I've noticed today, which I'm don't know whether it was the topping or I'm sure this is now starting to harm out on me. Or you can't really.
No.
I've not got balls yet, but yeah. Oh, there you go. I can zoom in.
You'll have to excuse me, man. I'm missing some stuff. I don't know if it's your accent or what, but I have a hard time. I might have to have a couple a repeat. I apologize. Are we looking at bugs? Or are we looking for herms?
Herms, right?
Yeah,
Balls.
Basically, there's no balls as such, but what I can notice, you can't really tell yet, and I'm going to have to leave it a day or two.
Okay.
It's like what looks like in the top of the bud. If I can bring this one over.
You just know from experience, huh? I see.
Yeah.
You've seen this so many times that you've known. See, this is gold.
yeah, right there.
Thanks for sharing. It's unfortunate, but this is awesome that you're sharing this.
I wish
And
we could
those are
see.
good. Those are really nice pictures.
I can't see.
It is because I had one not long ago that you have to question, and like he said, you're not sure, but you got to give it a day or two.
Yeah, it could be just a bunch of pistols all wrapped up together and stacked in, but it looks a little bit suspicious. Like it looks like there's solid matter in the bud structure. And that normally says to me it's going to grow a nut right in the middle of the bud. There's no nuts at the internodal spaces or anything like that.
Huh.
It's just actually inside the bud. But if that is the case, so I'm gonna. It's these two plants that are both in the same pot here. Let me just zoom back down. Yeah, I've got two plants in one pot here.
Yeah.
They're both greenhouse seed companies. That's the one that I snapped off. But if that is this, I would imagine it's probably my soil's a little bit too hot for them.
And you think that might have been what turned them? Hey, that's the one that had the massive fan leaves, right?
No, they're still good. Everything else is
Man,
that's around here.
I got seasickness here. I'm trying to keep my screen's glitchy as all hell.
Yeah, these ones, yeah, these ones are fine. Everything else is fine. It's just that one pot.
Damn, you're reaching up to
There's
grab those. Those are some big plants, man.
Yeah, they're gonna be. I would imagine they're gonna come up to roughly just past where the light is at the moment.
Looking very good, Iceni. Cheers. Man.
Hey, cheers, weed nerd. How you doing, buddy?
Good. Cheers, gang.
You good?
Awesome.
Proceed. It's looking very nice.
I can see that better because I really don't know exactly what he's talking about. He says he doesn't see balls, but he feels like it's going to be a male. And I know what you mean. There's things that happen in your tent. You just got a feeling, man. And you just like, I've seen this before. This ain't good or whatever.
It's like that ball sticks out like the male, but it's a calyx. And and a bunch of pistils come out. It's like, oh,
yeah.
You don't know if it's a swollen calyx.
Yeah, no,
I pick them anyways. Fuck it, I ain't waiting. Yeah.
I think it's hard to tell because I've got my HPS on at the moment, and the cameras don't really like the HPS.
Yeah, some lighting is difficult for the camera.
Yeah, it's a little yellowish. My lights do that too because I have two different spectrums, and it focuses on the 5K ones, but the 3Ks look really yellow. Yeah.
Oh, no shit.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Once I get the FCs in there, they're all the same spectrum. Then it's going to be like green. It's going to look normal. But
yeah, congratulations on your win again. He won the FC 6500.
Yeah, that's cool. Nice. Bunk beds.
That's a nice light.
A 4x2 vertical right now. They're just waiting.
Yeah, my wife's
gotta clean out the tent.
It's too heavy, man. I can't do it alone. Like I was trying to figure out how I'd hang it, but shit.
That's a 2-man job.
Yeah, it is.
2 adults, yeah.
Well, it's a 1-man job, but not with a tent with plants in it. Yeah, I'd have to hang one side, then pivot up the other side and hang the other side, then I'd be all right.
You don't have to wait till it grows over. It's just best if you do because
especially what Chiba just happened there. It's like, oh man,
there you go.
I ain't trying.
Guillotine.
There's that plan again. You can't.
Well, you remember, Smart? I think you saw it there when I dropped my FC once. It fell off the hook and it just swung and I just missed the tops, man. It's like, oh, I would have castrated them.
Was that Instagram live or that was one of our shows or something? We were live and he was like, oh shit, it happened live, you know?
Yeah, exactly. I don't know. I might have been on Instagram where it was just us there, but still.
Well, your plants look good. Let's get you on the big screen, man. And that's
yeah, they're both here, man. Smiley and Tao. So I mean, let's feature.
There they are, guys, for all their glory.
Yeah, awesome.
So top corner.
What do you have from Smiley?
Top corner is Sundial in the 5x3, and it's almost got the whole tent there. It's pretty nice. Actually, I could pivot it a bit there. Let me drop her down a bit. So
I got some of those, so I could watch you grow it too. Oh man,
it's doing really nice. I think I'm starting week 6 there.
That's fucking cool. You can turn the camera. Look at that's like a remote control for the camera to move left and right.
Yeah, it's got PTZ there. I can pan, tilt, zoom. This one's stationary. I can't move it, but I have other
you got to set
angles.
pretty.
Look at the stocking on that.
This one here, there. Yeah, so that's the other corner of the tent looking down at the tall ones. So the Amy's are in the background. And this one is Amy's on the right. The tall ones are like they're out of the frame there. They're so tall. So that's Sky Stomper on the left and the Amy's on the right. Both of them, like the one in the background and the one in the front. The one in the background's a little bigger. And
That's
I think I
awesome.
got both phenos because I heard there's a sweet one and a cheesy one.
Oh,
And I got a sweet one in the front one and a cheesy one in the back one. It's like a rubbery cheese. And the other one's
Stem
got
rub?
more sweetness to it there. It's not as cheesy,
You do-
not as rubber.
You tell with a stem rub then?
Well, I actually rubbed a sugar leaf.
Oh, okay. That's
They're
even
all-
better.
Yeah.
oh, fuzzy.
Get a better representation, I think. Because the
I didn't
stem,
know there
it's
were
got
two
a lot of
phenos.
spike tracks, eh? And they tend to be very like skunky. You know what I mean? So I don't want to get my hopes up. You know what I mean? But yeah, they're doing both pretty good there.
Hey, that Sky Stomper was living up to its name, huh? It got tall. I
Oh
saw
man, that's it really. I actually have a video part of it there. I kind of pan around.
Here, let me
So
put
that's
the
hippie
cameras
goggles
on.
on the left
You can
and
share
Sky
a video.
Stomper on the right. They're pretty tall there.
You'd be able to share a video now if you got one.
And I think I could put that full screen too. Yeah, there we go. See
Oh,
my
that's what
right
you're
now.
replacing, huh? You're gonna
Yeah.
replace that.
Top view.
It was useful for this grow because I had, a bunch of uneven plants there. But I mean, I grew
yeah.
them knowing I could do that.
Yep.
So now I could, just train them properly and have it all flat. But yeah, man, they're getting fat.
They sure
You'll be
are.
it
looking
smells
like
so
Gigi.
That like the Sky Stomper there. Oh my God. It's like I give it a shake because I move them, when I scoot my lid over, I lean them against the wall kind of thing. And man, when I straighten them back out there, they give me a nice whiff.
Oh yeah.
It smells so good. Can't wait. And Amy's too, man. Like shit. Nice, stout, sturdy little plants there. They don't stretch, man. I like it. It's a 1.5 stretch, maybe.
Okay.
Yeah.
On your Amy.
Yeah. The hippie goggles and the Sky Stompers, I bent them down 3 times. And
They
they
just keep
they
coming
just
back.
went right back up and then,
Yeah,
okay, put
yeah.
another tie again. And then they bent right back up again. It's like, man, they got a bunch of curves, like a bunch of staircases. They're still standing up now. They just got scars. I didn't tie them down. But yeah, man. So that's what's going on, man.
Nice to see. I'm glad that
Yeah, that's a beautiful garden you got there.
I'm glad that the American one and Smiley was both here. That is cool. They get to see their genetics and filling up some tents, man.
Yeah, man. It's
Them guys are-
I took a long time for cows there because I mean I had them a long time ago. I just because I ran them already. There were so many in the back there that I had to do before. I should have done them before. Long overdue.
Hey, them two dudes are always being very generous in the community with their seeds and shit. And
Absolutely.
It's beautiful. It's an awesome thing to see their
yeah.
genetics thriving
Yeah.
and someone that really is taking the care and putting the work in and look at the results, man. They're
Yeah.
absolutely gorgeous.
Sure. Well, that's the baby.
Oh, you got it already, huh?
Oh yeah.
It's
Nice.
I came
Oh,
Friday.
yeah.
I got it Friday.
That's torture though, like having a product that you can't really try right away. That happened to us with the Canatrol. If you remember, you were running it and we had to wait because
No, yeah.
everything to put in it. And so we ran behind and we had to just sit and look at it. So
Like getting a brand new motorcycle in the middle of winter. It's like shit.
yeah.
I can't go nowhere.
That's cruel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I got a picture of me on my bike in the snow in the driveway. I can't go anywhere, but I'm ready to rock.
yeah.
I saw this reel on Instagram. It was the coolest thing. Someone took in their garage a big chain and hoisted it up to a beam in this garage and hooked their motorcycle to it and made it into a swing. And the dude was
Oh yeah, I saw that.
that was so badass. I was
A hillbilly swing, eh?
Dude, I know
Oh man, and he would
dangerous
really
as hell,
get
did
it too.
not?
He'd get the back tire to rub there, and boom, that would swing him up.
Hey, it was just high enough. He did see it. It was just high enough for the back tire. I was thinking, look at these rednecks, man. God love them. They're going to go right through the wall, man. Because I don't know. That's a lot of pressure.
Was he hanging off a tree, like a swing?
He was hanging off of like the rafters inside of a garage.
Oh, okay. Shit, I saw one outside there. He's hanging right off a tree there. It's like shit.
Yeah, there goes a seed. I'm cutting up some mac that we grew. There goes a seed. They're big and dark, man. I'm keeping them ones.
Nice.
We don't get too many out of the Mac. It's weird. It's the one that hermed, but it's the one that got the least amount of seeds.
Oh, and I made myself a little power meter holder too there.
Oh, I'm cutting some buds, man. Someone can put the big screen on for you. Share that.
A little tent pole, and then it was a little heavy, like I don't know, and two-handed. I had to hold the meter and the pole, right? And
Yeah.
it's hard because I mean, if you have the meter outside the tent, you can't see shit. You can't see the numbers on the meter, so I had to leave a crack in the tent so I can see the meter, what the numbers are. And then at that point, you're not looking at where the sensor is. So it's like I kept looking back and forth there, making sure I'm all right. So this way,
You're gonna
it's
start
on the stick.
replacing you're gonna start replacing all your other stuff with pot stems and stuff whenever possible.
Well, why
You
not?
are one with the plant.
Reuse, right? I got the bowl. I got the trunk bowl. Now I got the
I
trunk
know.
meter. Trunk meter
That's what I'm
holder.
talking about. The bowl.
Oh, it's super light,
You got
man.
a picture of that? Put it up.
Yeah. He also
Yeah,
has a
trouble.
graveyard too. He has like
Oh, that's way back. I
a
don't know. if I have it.
graveyard
That's
of
great.
what was it called? Stemilies. He has a bunch of stemilies.
Yeah. All my trunks are my trunk grave.
It's
Or
like
well, I call them trunk trophies.
yeah, I was gonna say it's like a antlers on a wall almost.
But yeah, I mean, so now I just and it's got like little handles there, little stick handles like a gun,
Yeah.
so I can
made
pivot
that.
and stuff. But it's super light. But I got to be careful because it's very brittle, and they're strong, but they're not very. They're too brittle.
He
Like it'll
made
snap if I snag it.
my wife was out of the room. He made a power meter stick out of one of his branches.
Brilliant. That's smart. I love it.
There it is.
I like the repurposing. We
Yeah.
were talking about the last show, like the repurposing of things, and
Send that
I
off
love
to
it.
send that off to Bugbee, Tom. You'll start producing the stems you can sell with that light holder.
Repurpose, right?
That's it. You know what? I did the same thing though. I bought my power meter without the stick and was trying to hold my arm in there. And I'm like, now I see why I should have bought the stick. So I ended up buying the stick separate. And it cost me like an extra $25. If I'd have just bought the package set up together, you get a little bit of a deal. But I tried to
You likely expose the underneath of your arm too, so you can
Yeah.
really get a sunburn there. It's like,
yeah,
oh man.
man, it's hard. Plus, it's like you said, you're trying to look where the meter is and then read where it's at and everything else.
Yeah.
Tough.
This way it's so light, I can literally lean it on the bud. Like it's, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
There's
Yeah, it would be nice and light.
the
'cause you
stick part there, you know what I mean?
There's something you don't see every day. HP.
I went ahead and bought the pole with the power meter. So. Yeah,
Yeah.
HPS.
Yeah, man.
That's nice.
What is
It's
that?
telescopic. You could put it away. It's,
Looks like 400 watt, huh? 6.
600, yeah.
Nice.
Just providing a little bit extra heat and a little bit extra coverage.
Hell yeah.
nice.
HPS
Oh,
grows good bud. It
Oh
does.
yeah.
Oh, we know we grew lots of good bud under
Yeah.
ours.
It just was inefficient.
Exactly.
I had
The
twin
efficiency
sixes
that's the
myself.
problem, not the quality of the light.
Yeah,
Right.
you got it.
You know what? One
So
side
that plant in
benefit.
the back. Sorry, go ahead, Crispy.
No, go ahead. The plant in the back.
I was just I seen he's got that big plant in the back. That's the one with the big fan leaves. It's covering up that poster now.
Yeah.
But like 2 weeks ago, we could see that poster just
That's
fine.
right.
Yeah, you're
That's
right
awesome.
about
Tony.
that.
Like climbing.
Good observation. Hell
You're right.
Yeah, you're right.
He moved the poster lower on the wall.
Yeah, I'm gonna start shooting down at the waist. Hold my phone down at the waist when I show my
Literally roll
plants,
up on
make
the
them look
floor
really
next
big.
week. Look how big my planet. No.
Oh no. So
Oh, I
funny.
did
References for height, right? It was up to the top of his head. Now it's top of his hair.
Yeah. That's badass.
I always tell the wife I got 2 things in this world: my word and my balls, and I don't break them for nobody. Right?
Oh, yeah.
That's one of my favorite sayings out of there. You got no passive air going through there, huh?
No glass, no
That's-
vent.
Yeah.
I
Convection.
just extract my whole room.
Hell yeah, man. You're conditioning the air for the entire space.
the one side benefit to having that light and growing in the room like we did was it would be so nice and tropical in there in the winter time. We didn't have to run a heater in that room pretty much. The ballast was always, you could crack an egg on it, fry,
Yeah, man.
fry it up.
It was a big
It
one.
got real
That was
hot.
1,000 watts, but it did get really hot. My cat would go over and lay beside the ballast and shit. It's so warm. That's a beautiful garden, man.
It is a beautiful garden.
Did you end
so,
up? Did you have a
I don't
chance to try that that Amy cross you made? I seen, or is it still current?
sorry, what was that?
You made a crosser with Amy Aces and a few of them there.
Yeah.
Did
Yeah,
you
that,
end up trying that at all? Or?
Yeah, the Amy wine cheese. I named it. It was what was the cross on that one? Oh, fucking hell.
I think you had wedding cake and
Yeah, wedding cake cross watermelon skittles
yeah, that's it.
to Amy Ace.
Nice.
And yeah, it pretty much sounds like what you're describing you're getting from the Amy. The Amy came through so strong it's cheesy.
Oh,
A
did
little
it?
bit whilst it was growing, it smelled rubbery, almost like antiseptic. But
Yeah,
when I was
chemical rubber there.
yeah, but when it was when it finished up, it totally coloured out. It was beautiful plant, almost magenta, reds, purple, green. It was really nice looking, but it had a cheese, like almost like a sour cheese with something stringent, which I can only describe as winey.
Yeah. That's potentially not a good mix, eh? I don't know. A cheesy fruit there. Yeesh, I don't know.
So I named it wine cheese, but yeah, that was nice, and yeah, it didn't last very long because I just smoked it all really quickly.
Was it good though?
Yeah.
Like was it all right or?
Yeah, it was. It's not. Well, I'm gonna fill my room with it hopefully next because I want to test them out properly and
Yeah.
and everything else. So yeah, I'll fill my room with it. I'm not
Nice.
worried about that. That'll stand with everything. It was super frosty. Looked pretty. My son, he's like, yeah, he got any more of that? I'm like, nah, not yet. But hopefully, the seeds I've got a few hundred seeds. So
You
I'll
said
try
something
those out,
earlier.
man. If you want to send some to Canada,
Yeah, there you go.
I'll give it a run.
I was going to do a USA thing at some point. Instead of individually shipping across to everybody, I'll just drop it all off to one person who can do a little distribution to if anybody
Nice.
wants.
Oh, that's a good idea.
Yeah. You said something earlier, I seen that had me thinking here. If that plant did go south on you, as far as getting herms, you said it could be your soil being hot. So you believe that's something that could definitely, would you say that that would be, how do I want to say it? I don't throw someone under the bus, but would that be considered a weak or unstable genetics if that's all it takes to turn it as hot? Because the other ones are in it and they're doing fine. I'm just curious. I'm trying to work that through in my head.
See, my definition of hot and your definition of hot will be two different things. If I was to get do like a saturate or get some soil out of there and do a slurry test, my ppm meter would have a shit and it would say error. It's gone past 9999. So when I say hot, I mean it's really fucking hot.
Okay.
There's a lot of shit in there and a lot of nutrients. So,
but is it all available though? That's the thing.
I'll just pull that plant, that one pot. I'll probably end up if they are proper herms. Ain't no problem to me. Just put these two plants out and fucking recompost them. Then I'll move this one pot. I'll mark it up because it needs some work doing to it. So I'll just put a load of cover crop on it, and I'll just pull all the nutrients out of it to take you know, and I'll just sit that to one side. Like you see, I've got my other pot sat around the back there. That's just got a load of leaf shit and everything on it. That pot needed a little bit of time.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Everything to all break down, and I'll take the cover crop out of that. I'll keep growing cover crop, and eventually I'll reduce the ppm on it. And some plants are fine with it, some plants aren't.
Good point, man. I'm glad you cleared that up, man. I appreciate
Like
that.
a remediation there, right? Like you're
You said something we've noticed, and this, like you said about availability, I think that's part of the way that works is there's constantly some available, but constantly some being processed for availability in the near future by the microbes. So it's just a constant thing, you know? And
yeah, what the meter sees isn't necessarily what's available to the plant. You know?
yeah, and I don't really understand all this, because I know soil has a cation exchange and all that stuff too, a CEC. And when you get a soil test from like the local, that they do tests for people's soil around here at the local college, Penn State, and they send back a report, and one of them said CEC, and I'm thinking that's for soil too. It's cation exchange capacity or something. And I was thinking, see, there's a lot to soil that I still scientifically and otherwise, like how he mixes his is pretty cool. He lets it sit over there and get hot and grows shit in it and to kind of take some of that out, then puts his plants in there. That's a big process.
Complex, man.
Yeah, it is. It's much harder, it seems, to do that and keep a plant healthy from beginning to end than it is in the system that I use. I count on my control of having the nutritional value in my hands versus, you know, because I would screw it up. And that's why we switched. We didn't have continually good luck one after another. You know, it was always a crapshoot.
Yeah, well, this is where the advantage of if you've got a little bit of money or you've got access, soil testing, which is something I don't do. So this is where I'm running into these issues, and that's the only way I can manage. I mean, I could get a soil test, and they could recommend do this, do that. I could break the pot down and divide it between two, and just add some more peat or cocoa, but I'll just leave it and let nature do its thing. You know, it's part of the process. You know, I don't mind getting Hermes. You know, it's a pain in the ass, but I look at it as if, you know, it's if you're diligent and everything else, and you can spot it, it's not really an issue.
Right on.
That's part of the game. You know, no matter
The
what.
big plus is it's regenerative. You know what I mean?
One thing I've noticed
Keep
about
going and going and going.
Iceni and other people like Iceni is they have a very, very intimate relationship with their soil. They understand it. They understand if they take half and mix it with something else, exactly how it's going to react and shit. And that's something I can highly appreciate. That you definitely understand your soil, where it's at, where it's going to, and all that shit in between. And that says a lot, you know.
And the worm bin, and that's
here she comes with her worm bin. Hey, she's buying her one of them purple
He
worms.
loves that worm bin. So do I, man. It's a cool concept.
She
Like
loves
I
the
think
worm.
they'll be like little pets that I'll be feeding and
It's the worm
getting
dominium.
something back from them for like seeing how that all is going to make my outside garden improve. Oh yeah.
The worm condo. Hell yeah.
I see avocado in there.
A little dirty.
I know that's what I have to.
Supposed to be, right?
Yeah.
They say
I
if
need
it's
to look
working
at
well,
it
it doesn't
outbuilding.
it doesn't stink outside that box, does it? I seen.
No, I can't smell nothing. Well, I don't, you know,
If it's right on,
only
you don't smell it, man.
I generally only put plant matter in here. It's I don't throw a lot of fruit and stuff and everything else. I like to keep it dry as well. So I'm going to be throwing a lot of amendments and everything else. But yeah, this is no smell. I can't even smell it. Whereas I've got a 5 litre or 5 gallon bucket down there. It's got bokashi ferment in it, and I'm scared to open that.
Hey, I have a question about the worms. If maybe you can help. I understand it, but I'm wondering how you combat it. So we were talking to the American one, I think it was one day, about having a worm bin like that. And
Yeah.
somebody on Instagram, I was telling him they had a worm bin like yours, but it wasn't that nice. It was like a homemade one. Well, they ended up making the compost in it too nice, and it got hot and started to compost and shit. And that's when I learned that you want to be either nitrogen heavy a little bit, or maybe, or, you know, on your. But how do you know what to put in there so that it doesn't become like hot soil and cook?
Right.
Does that make sense? What I'm saying?
Well, the worm food is part of your maintenance. So a lot of people make a bucket up of the various little bits and bobs and stuff. So, you know, you'll have something like that. It's just got grains. You'll have eggshells and whatever. Just basically like a living soil amendment. So you'll have alfalfa, neem cake, all in gypsum. But what you need to do is worms like a neutral pH.
Okay.
So when
neutral pH.
Okay.
Yeah.
Which is 7, right?
Yeah. So, and they don't mind it being a little bit acidic. I mean, because a lot of the stuff we're putting in there is going to make it acidic. But the sheer process of stuff breaking down the bacteria and everything else can turn it really acidically quick. And the worms will try and leave if it gets too wet or too acidic. You'll have like worms trying to escape.
Oh, no shit. That's a good one. I just learned that. I never thought about the. So let me ask you this: could I potentially throw, say, my potato peels, my apple peels, all that stuff can be thrown in there? I mean, as long as I'm paying attention to that pH you just mentioned, you know.
I wouldn't use potatoes because of the inherent risk of the roots and everything else, and possibly bringing pathogens in.
Okay.
So I'm a little bit, you know, most of the stuff that goes in there is either I've grown it myself or it's come out of my refrigerator and it's been washed. I don't put anything out from outside in my garden. I would never bring that indoors and try and use that. This is separate.
Okay. That's all good information, man.
Basically, you just need to keep adding lime, or dolomite, lime, gypsum, something that's going to buffer that acidity. Or calcium carbonate is, the worms love calcium carbonate, and they use the calcium carbonate to actually neutralise the pH. And it's good for you. It's good for us when we want to add it to our soil as well. So these are the sort of things I think about. And ideally, I'd have 2 worm bins, one for veg, one for flower. And depending on what I want, whether I want, I'll be putting sort of green leafy materials into the one that I want to use for the veg, and I'll be using fruit and things like that I want to be using for the one for the flowering. So I'm going to try and harvest the nitrogen and the potassium and the phosphorus, try and stack them in one way or another. So essentially, when I go to flip, I can use the contents out of the flowering worm bin, and when I want to pot up and reform veg, I can use the contents from the green worm bin.
Gotcha.
So I'll just call it a green and a red one.
That's cool, man. That's good information, and because it's deeper than just putting some worms in a box and feeding it table scraps, And I wanted to kind of press it up, make that point that there is a little bit of thought behind it, and I've seen other people try, and they cooked all their worms, man. They had good compost, I guess, but they didn't have no worms left.
Yeah, well, that's essentially it. If you added a bit of lime, a bit of calcium carbonate, that cooking process wouldn't have been so much. Be careful when you add things like alpha. Realise what you're actually putting in there. is a compost activator. So if you put a
Okay.
compost activator into your worm bin, it's going to instantly fucking get hot, and the worms are not going to be happy because they don't like a sort of 30 degrees temperature is pretty much their limit. Or they can go hot, but they don't really like it.
And I'm assuming that's like 80 something Fahrenheit.
I don't know, but if you can put your hand on your compost or your worm bin and you can feel there's heat in there, you probably want to break it up, turn it, and add some sort of lime or something, just to take the heat out of it.
Chiba man's mooning us.
I didn't know you guys were on the camera.
I was just coming to see what you was doing, man. I saw some activity. We'll check you out, man.
Just finished the clones.
Okay.
Nice.
Work.
Putting in that work.
It's worth 7 gallons.
Okay. Mixing up a res, huh?
I do a grand total of what was that? 7, 11, 13 gallons.
Okay.
Is remember I was telling you about these colored newts. This is my micros. Shoot. There's my grow.
Okay. Kind of looks like what I'm using a little bit. Except mine's GH. Same colors.
It's the 3-part. This
Purple,
isn't
pink, and green.
Keep in mind, cheers, man. Sorry, I heard you just as I was walking to the bathroom.
Ah,
Cheers, brother. Hope your plans do better
I gotta make up
or
2
get
different
better.
for the 3-part and then 1 for the 2-part. Same company, Blue Plant, but I gotta use up all those other nutrients before I switch to my master. This should have lasted a freaking year.
wow. Good for
Well,
you.
I really just started using it. I mean, yeah, I'll be honest. At least 2 more growths.
Okay. Now you're running that in your you're running that in your DWC as well as your hempy pots.
Right, I run those in, but I'm using but that big one, the one in the yellow bucket, I'm using the 2-part because I had some left. So I'm just using it up just to
Okay.
just to get rid of it all. So but yeah, all the same company, but the 2-part is a recipe. But anyway, all right. Well, anyway, let me see, where am I? I forgot where I was.
Yeah, don't let me mess you up, man. Hey, I seen you. I didn't mean to cut you off there. I got distracted sometimes.
Yeah, right.
Appreciate the worm bin talk. That's going to be cool. I can't wait to start my garden. It's been getting nice out here. I composted a bunch of stuff, and it's looking like it's ready. We're moving our yard garden up closer. I want to hook my gutters up and to like a weep hose. I seen this on Instagram. Dude had his gutters hooked up to this weep hose looking thing or whatever, and it went right down through his garden. Every time it rained, it would water his garden. And I was thinking, it just so happens ours is going to be in a place where I could do that. I might look into that. Any thoughts?
Yeah, not for me. I've tried using rainwater, and I used it once. It was a thunderstorm, so I thought, oh, that was it was really intense and highly electric. I thought I'm going to try some of this positively charged sort of rainwater business, and I got PM.
Oh, no shit. Well, this is going to be in our
Yeah, I wouldn't do
outside
it again.
vegetable garden.
Yeah.
So
I also want to grow beans up a chain link fence.
yeah, we're going to try
I'm
that.
wondering if that, like, the downside to that is going to be, I guess I'll find out.
It'll be hard. I think it's going to be hard on the fence. If I make it rust and shit. We'll see.
So you can get powdery mildew from rainwater? Is that what he said?
I guess.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Well,
Damn.
you're taking it from my gutter. Put it that way.
Right. Right.
So-
Well, it's concentrating it like Crispy said with the dehumidifier.
Yep.
Good
It's
point.
concentrating it all.
Yeah. Well, it's almost like I live in the city, so I live next to a main road. So my house essentially can be covered in soot, crap, I've got
Yeah,
I've got
think-
my gutters are filled with moss and grass and plants that were all growing out of them. And I was ignorant to everything. And essentially, I have birds that sit up there and shit and poo. I have squirrels that come across my roof and all sorts of stuff. So I'd imagine there's all sorts of nasties that are coming down in that water that comes out of there. So
That makes sense.
I wouldn't say it was the rainwater. Essentially, if I had a barrel and it was collecting the gutters and everything was clean, you can't just collect your rainwater from any location and expect it to be okay.
good point. Depends on where you live, especially if you live by a main road and shit. You get a lot of diesel dust and shit on your roof. Yeah, I don't think that might be the best idea. That's a good point. We kind of live a little bit out of the way. I don't know what all is on ours, but it's an outside vegetable garden. But now I'm thinking I don't want to concentrate all that roof nasty down into my garden. So there you
Well,
go.
it's not.
Maybe if I lived in the
I
country-
don't worry about it. Our environments are polluted, really, aren't they? You know, the air we breathe, water we drink, everything. So it's one of those things you can't control, and you know we talked about the acid rain and things like that 20 years ago, and we've just made this whole, you know, especially when you're talking about that train accident, derailment, and that burn off. If you start collecting that, worth that's in your, you know, being rained down in your water. Do you want
And that's not far from here, man. Not far at all. The one in Ohio.
Oh,
That's a couple hundred
It's very
miles.
troubling.
And that shit was nasty, man. They had to like test those people's soils and their house air quality and shit. And you're right, catch the wrong wind, and who knows? I could be breathing that in right now.
Hey, you know, you could, if you're concerned about contaminants in your rainwater, you can build like a charcoal scrubber kind of deal, a filter. Just Google like a charcoal water filter, and it'll come up, and you put different layers of sand and gravel and charcoal and
great
like that.
idea.
You
Like
could
a
put
Berkey
two
filter there.
55-gallon drums, one on top of the other, with the filter in the middle, and have all your rainwater collect in the top, and then slowly drip through the filter into the bottom or something.
Oh, that's cool.
Those life
That's really
straws
cool.
there where you can draw right off a lake. Yeah.
That's how they make. That's how they make bourbon, I think.
That's how we made clean water when I was doing that survival training. We had to put it through a filter that we made.
Nice. Damn. So you drank it, so I would trust it on my shit.
Yeah.
I seen you got a big filter there. What's the
All
deets
right.
on that, though, Fro?
That's a six stage RO. Pretty much it reduces my water from 400 ppm down to 0. Yeah, I don't really use it, but yeah, my water is tap water is disgusting.
Yeah,
I know, guys, I'm gonna bounce. So I just wanted to show Smiley and Tao the garden there. Well, you guys too there. But
Appreciate
nice seeing y'all, and we'll see you on the next one.
Hell yeah.
Have a good one.
Grow that
Cheers,
guy.
weed nerd.
Cheers.
Yeah, I'm glad you took the
Brother love.
opportunity to show them guys.
Yeah.
Man. They get to see their stuff. That's always nice when you get to,
Show your garden. Hell yeah. And
especially to the breeders in the chat,
exactly.
you know. But yeah, we're lucky to have good water here. Very consistent, even during different seasons. I don't know why, but it's usually between, I don't know, 7.5 and 8 pH. Usually it's right at 7.5, but the EC is usually like a 185. So either like it depends on what meter I'm using, it'll read like a 0.1 or a 0.2. So I don't even count my water. We don't count our water EC when we're mixing nutrients. If I'm looking for 1,000, it's 1,000 with my water. I don't deduct it or anything, which you're supposed to do according to the Cocoa for Cannabis guidelines. So if your water is a EC of say 250 and you're looking for a 1,000 EC, obviously you should be at 1,250 total, because it's going to read salts as salts, whether it's whether it's nutrient available or not. So. But ours is so minimal that we've never done that. We've seemed to do all right, you know. And anything over 300 EC, they say you should try to maybe look for another source. But I know other people like Rusty and into CFC chat, and a few other guys that have actually used like 500 EC water and had good results. Some of them are using Jacks, but Rusty's the kind of guy, he understands the chemistry of his water and what he needs to do to balance it out and shit. So I give him a little extra credit on being able to do that. I see something different. Hold on, I'm coming right now.
Got him in.
Yeah.
Boom. Clones.
Yeah, these are the clones I took a couple of weeks ago. So yeah, they've all rooted. They ain't got no more humidity requirements.
They look really healthy, don't they, gang?
They sure do.
Whatever soil they're in seems to be pretty nice. They're all rooted now.
Yeah,
Beautiful.
That's a can of soil.
Nice. Now these here, are these are the next ones up in that grow space? I remember you said you had to shut. I think we had to shut down one room and put your veg area like the tent there.
Yeah, these will all get worked until they bring that room down. I'll probably add some more in here as well at some point, but yeah, it gets really crowded in here. You know, I normally have a couple of pots stacked out here in front of the tent as well, just to. But it's not too much of a problem, you know. Veg, they don't take a lot of requirements.
Right.
The lights. I like doing the 12 and 1 as well.
Okay.
These ones here are root beer free, or the Coca-Cola cross root beer freeze.
Nice. I remember that one. I remember
that one. That one's the same. They're the same age. You know, that's the difference between what you get from pot sizes. Basically, keep it in a small pot, keeps the footprint. You know, as you can see, the leaf spans. I noticed when you're in a little veg stage, your leaves normally go to your width for your pots.
Yep.
So if you keep your pots nice and sort of like narrow, your plants stay nice and narrow. You give them a slightly wider pot, your leaves will then spread out to the side of the pot. So if you imagine you had a bigger pot, everything it all works out the same sort of like relatively, not far off the width of the pots.
Right. That's one of the markers we use, Iceni, for a pot up indicator. That's one of them. Like we'll kind of look straight down on top of our plant, whether it's a solo cup or 1 gallon. And if it's nice and like you're saying right there, you kind of can't see your pot, then I know it's pretty much ready. Oftentimes I'll flip it out real quick and it has a nice root ball. So they usually coincide. You know, I've noticed that. Like once they get that, those are like 2 markers that we use, and it's treated us well throughout. And it's a good, I like that you noticed that and you pointed it out as well. Some people notice shit like that, but you never hear it verbalized. And it's cool to see that.
Yeah, I like the bottom feed when they're like this as well, to prevent any sort of fungus gnats or anything. I do run, I'm quite proud of, I haven't had fungus gnats in quite some time. Yeah. Let's see what we've got going on.
Well, that's good. Fungus gnats are no fun for sure.
But I find keeping things relatively dry is the key for that one.
Yeah, that's definitely a nice, strong root system.
It's quite dry. This probably needs water on, to be honest with you. I love pulling plants out their pots. When you've got enough root mass on there to pull it out of the pot, I love doing that and having a look at the roots.
I like looking at the roots and doing the pot ups too when everything is right, you know. Yeah. And when you have like Smart was saying, you were saying you got that over top of your pot, you know, things are going right. We've had, you know, made the mistakes early on of not doing that at the right time and having the root ball fall apart in our hands, and that then see how it affected the growth of the whole plant throughout. And that can be devastating at that point when you're doing a pot up. You don't want the roots to be breaking off. So we let them dry back for sure, because it does make it easier to, keep all that in place.
Let's take a second and make sure that we post some links. Like you were mentioning, people coming on here. There are plants from the American one and from Smiley's and from other people. I like to make sure we share them links. Them guys are always so generous with their time, with their seeds and the shit that they do, that I think it's important that we try to give back by utilizing codes and links that we have. So if my wife could be so nice as to post a couple of those, these people save those and share them with other people that you know. You tell them, like, these people have integrity. They're good breeders. They're available if you have a problem or a question, shit like that. That goes a long way when you're spending your dollar. You don't want to get some jackass who they call, I guess it's called pollen chucker, who's just selling whatever. It's important that, especially people that are just getting into this type of growing their own medicine, it's important that they get a hold of some good genetics, because that can turn someone off, having shit hermia on you or just turn out poorly. So give them the best advantage you can. Everybody understands how important genetics are, and we'd like to
for the new grower as well, because you don't want to be discouraged early on. That I remember it happening to us early on, and it really did have a big impact. And I thought later that if that would have happened at the wrong time, it may have discouraged us from even moving forward. So it goes a long way to be having someone trust when you aren't even sure, you're new to the venture, you want things to work out.
Yes. Somebody's got a mic phone. I think I got him right here. Sorry. The proliferation of knowledge goes further than just showing someone how to grow. It's saving someone money, and it's saving them from the heartache of spending a bunch of weeks growing something that was just going to turn out shitty because it's not stable or whatever. And I think it's good to share that shit.
Oh yeah, it is. That's why we're, usually over at the Cheap Home Grow show on Sunday nights. Yeah. We try to never miss, because we've learned so much over there. And at the Cocoa for Cannabis website on saving money, because that's important too. You don't want to waste a lot of money on things that you don't necessarily need. And I think we've all been there. If we can help someone new coming in save $1 and put it toward equipment that they do need, and that they will, recommend getting the right sized dehumidifiers, humidifiers, air conditioning, heating, lighting. There's a scope of things that you do want to not skimp and get the right thing, and you don't have to spend a lot of money on and get a great product.
We're gonna roll this Mac joint. We're down to like the last 10 minutes here. We get blazed up last time. Time goes by pretty quick.
It does go by pretty quick.
Nice to see everybody in chat. We appreciate everybody coming on and sharing. And
it's always a pleasure. Yeah, it's always fun hanging out with you.
And I like that we don't all have to grow the same. People are always, I love the chat that we have and our guests. People grow differently. They have different views, and there's a way to disagree with someone or have a different opposing view without being an asshole or being abrasive, and be able to share. And I love that the community that's been built around this channel by everybody that's here is kind of that way, It
makes it comfortable.
Yeah. Some people we'll always end up in bad times, right? Everybody has a bad grow and has a bad shit happening to them or whatever. And oftentimes,
been there, done that.
How many times have you had something bad in your garden and you're thinking, I don't really want to share this, but it's important that we do. And a lot of us do that very thing, when we drop our light on our plants, or if we end up putting grow dots in our auto flowers and it fries them, or if we use too much H2O2 and it cooks them. These are all things that we've done here and around the chat, and it's just good to see
It's
that people,
comfortable. It feels
Yeah.
comfortable that we can share those things, I think, in our situation.
because it's not always perfect.
It's
man.
hard, sometimes you put, a little too much love into your garden, and sometimes I'll take a mistake I've made and make it personal to me, and I can't help it. I'm doing better.
Hey, the community's great. This community's
is.
great. I get a lot of moral support as far as that goes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, this community just makes me feel like that's just nothing. We're it doesn't mean because we made a mistake doesn't mean anything about our growing skills.
It'll
and
shake your confidence if you
it
string a
does.
couple together. Yeah, it will. It'll definitely shake your confidence, but that's part of it, man, is like, especially when you try new things, and if you don't understand always the science, you have to go to the practice first and see where you go wrong and then kind of try to figure it out backwards. And there's a lot going on there that I think people don't see, but we as growers kind of understand. And I think that there's a place that it's always good to have a place you can come say, hey, look what the hell's going on here. I like what Seed Person said earlier. He said he's building a house. Some guys, just because I build my house differently doesn't mean that you can't come there and be comfortable and have fun. Just like I come to your house, which is built totally different. It's kind of like the growing skills. These garden tours are freaking awesome, man. People have like cover crop. Look at I seen you there.
We learn so much too. We learn so much, and we're lucky because we can recognize what's going on and try to address it and get it turned around just by
someone has made that mistake before too. So someone has. I mean, I've been through it, buddy, and then they share exactly how they get out of it. So
right. I mean, oftentimes it can be a little tedious. You have to get into, what have you done? What's happened in the last couple of weeks, blah, blah, blah. But it's always nice to be able to find out what other farmers are experiencing, what they're running into. And
someone smarter than me.
But great advice early on, and it really helped early on, was to keep notes and to refer to those notes, even, no matter how minuscule you think it is, just write them down, what you're noticing, and it can help you later. And it really did early on, keeping those notes.
And we always say about the new grower, one thing people, whether it's right, wrong, or indifferent, when you make a mistake or have a bad grow going and it's like your first or second grow, you don't want to feel like a fool. Nobody wants to look like an idiot. So if they have somewhere where they can come and say, look, I know you guys have done this before, you'll help me and I won't feel like a fool. I think that's, some people might say, don't coddle people, don't be a dickhead, but there's enough negative shit in the world that I enjoy my time here with you guys, where we can just focus on growing the shit that makes us happy and, the ins and outs of it, the goods, the bads, but all in all, at the end of the day, there's quite a camaraderie between the growers. We have a common thread, and it's legalization. It's taking away the stigma of growing and consuming cannabis and trying to get, good, clean product in people's hands, whether it's just to get high or to treat something very serious in your life. So I think there's a wide spectrum there that everybody can fit into. So we always invite everybody on to talk about whatever's important in your life and in your garden and how you process your final product and all that shit. Because knowledge makes a man wealthier than anything in my book. And I appreciate all the sharing, and it makes for good conversation. I think about this shit all week after these shows.
And, that brings up a good point. I want to remind everybody about Dr. MJ Coco's new channel, new show, Ask Dr. Coco.
Yeah.
That's tomorrow. If Smart would be so kind to put that link in the chat again. If you have a question, you can bring your questions to Ask Dr. MJ Coco. And I think we're going to be bearing witness to his grow on these shows. We're going to see weekly updates, and this is going to be a lot of fun.
You'll get to see exactly what he's doing. I believe it's 8 plants in a 2x4, giving each one. I don't want to say any more than that. Check it out.
Yeah, definitely check it out. Smart put the link in chat, so you can go over and tomorrow 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time,
Yep,
and be sure to check that out.
it'll be a lot of fun.
Yeah, definitely will be a lot of fun. I'm stoked about that.
Thanks again
I
for
hope to see
everybody.
everyone over there. I hope to see all my buddies in chat, and
Yeah,
see you over there in the chat. That'll be fun.
bring your questions about soil seed. People often get it mistaken. They think that Doc MJ is the cocoa guy, but they don't realize like he did a dissertation or something. I don't know. I don't want to say it wrong, but all that stuff you have to do to get a PhD, a lot of that was soil growing, and he knows a lot about soil growing. And I think people often don't want to come to him and ask him questions in that capacity. And I think that's actually he really thrives there. That's he's been teaching, or he told me he was in school for 25 years. So that's a lot of learning, soil and everything. So bring your questions, see what kind of answers you can get, and spark some good, intelligent conversation.
Indeed, it will be.
So with that being said, look at the worms. Oh, get it. They're feasting
He
over
was
there.
posting some beautiful pics of a hard nug.
Let me put that up
Some
there.
nice hard bud too. I saw that. That was beautiful.
Hey, while we're doing our shout outs here, we can go ahead and take a look at the worms. We got a couple minutes left here. We'll start with, how about we start with Artman?
Artman, 2 N's, 420 _ on Instagram. And over at Cocoa for Cannabis. I don't know why this surprises me every week when you say that. It's like, oh wow, I gotta tell something. Anyway, that's where I am. So.
The time goes by so fast too, hanging out with you. It's so much fun. It just, I get caught off guard too when sometimes I'm like, damn, it's all ready to get ready to vacate.
I'd say next up, we need to get your links up there, Artman. I don't know if you have them handy, but the link to your Instagram.
I think I have.
I don't have them handy. I got so many. I might have them, but if they don't have your actual name in the YouTube link, I got so many I might get lost in them. So
there it is. Crispy pops are right away.
Yeah.
Thank you. You're faster than me. So
all of them. I'm sorry if Ian's helped me out, and just go subscribe to each other. Throw those links up.
Next up, we'll go Chiba. Man, you're on mute, buddy. I see you're close to your camera. Maybe we can get you while you're handy.
Chiba.
He's trying to unmute. He's still on mute. He's waving bye.
Waving goodbye.
He must be having Bye, Chiba. We appreciate it,
Bye,
buddy.
Chiba.
Show her love, man. Appreciate the updates. That sucks about the thing, but hey, he got what did he say? 5 clones?
Yeah, this could be an instance where you turn it into lemonade, where your harvest will be bountiful.
Yeah, you'll get 5 extra clones. It might end up being some of the best buddy ever had. You'll be super happy he got those. It's too bad it had to happen in such a fashion where it gives you a heart attack, though. You know what I mean?
It could just be a happy little mistake.
Yeah, like Bob Ross. Next up, we can do Iceni there. Appreciate it, Iceni. Always fun to see the worms in the garden, and looking forward to see how that plant turns out. Maybe you'll be kind enough to come back and let us know.
Yeah, I'll come back every week. I'll quite enjoy coming on, spending a little bit of time kicking it with you. This is the ideal time for me, obviously, because of the time zones and everything else. Your Wednesday night or Wednesday show, all my lights are off and everything
Right
at that point. So, and everyone else will be in bed as well, which is sometimes can be quite awkward. But you can find me on YouTube, Iceni1, or Iceni Special Branch on Instagram, and it's been nice. Cheers, everyone. Grow love.
Awesome.
Thanks,
Cheers.
Take care.
You. And we will see you next Sunday. That's awesome. Always a treat.
Yes, we'll be able to check that. By then, he should know a little more about that plant and how it's going to react.
Yeah.
Next up would be Seed Person 1.
Yep, I'm seedperson1 on Instagram or seedperson1@gmail.com if you don't have social media. Thanks for hosting, guys. It's always good to hang out with our Chromies and our community and take our minds off of all the things life is throwing our way this week.
Yeah.
true.
Yeah, the no power.
I hope things are better, man.
Hopefully he's able to help your family there, charging up some stuff.
Yeah, I'm got everything charged and did 3 loads of laundry. So my parents are only like 30 minutes away, so it's not a big deal. But
That is super
once the power
cool.
comes back on, I'll be popping some new beans. It seems like.
Well, we're definitely sorry to hear that. If you need anything, you already know, man. Let us know. We'll figure it out. I know you got plenty of seats and everything, but
We're sending
I
our good
appreciate
vibes,
that.
some good vibes, some loving vibes your way. We'll pull together as a community. We're all with you in this. We're in this all together.
yeah, man. If it's that's just a bummer. But anyhow, thanks for hanging out with us.
We lost the upside down clones too, I think.
Oh, the upside
Yeah.
down clone.
I forgot about that until
Like,
just now.
I'm gonna hold out hope for your entire garden until I know for a fact they're done. They're chopped down. You got them. You know.
Huh.
So
Right.
I
Damn
can't-
right.
that's
Hell
just,
yeah.
that's just the way I am. I'm not gonna, I'm gonna hang on because pain ends,
Yeah,
right?
right.
And
Let's hope.
I'm Crispy Wannabe. You can find me here every Sunday and Wednesday at the Smart Poker YouTube channel. Love hanging out with everybody and Smart and chat. Y'all are so awesome. And you'll find me over at the Cheap Home Grow Show tonight. You can find me on YouTube and Instagram and Cocoa for Cannabis. Grow or love, everyone.
Grower love, gang.